Welcome back, guys, to our preview every single NFL team for the 2022 season. We're back in the NFC West with the Seattle Seahawks, and I looked at them in preseason and I'm like, damn, these are... I saw them in the game against the Bears and I'm like, this is against the Bears, who are a dumpster fire in their own right. They have a defensive core as their head coach. I'm like... And then you look at the draft they had, I'm like... Again, you didn't get a quarterback in the off season, in the free agency. You didn't get a quarterback in the draft. You only got Drew Lock from that trade you had from Russell Wilson and multiple picks that you had. So you go into this season, and I look at that NFC West. You know, you've got the Cardinals. You have the Cardinals, who Kyler Murray has that big contract, which I talked about a month ago. You have the 49ers with Trey Lance, and this is going to have to be his year. The Rams have got stronger with the guys that they have got in the free agency and the draft. And then you look at that division, and you're like, I think they're going to be last in the division again, because you look at the things I mentioned. They've done well in the off season, getting the shit they need. Getting the shit they don't need, and you've got Seattle here and Pete Carroll doing the fucking draft. 7-year-old ass Pete Carroll doing the draft. Like, don't need a quarterback, but let's talk about the guys they got. Let's stick with Drew Lock for a year. Let's have Drew Lock as a starting quarterback. Let's not go for a Jordan Love. Let's not go for a Baker Mayfield. Let's not go for a Malik Willis in the draft or a Kenny Pickett trade up to get Kenny Pickett. Let's stick with Drew Lock for a year. How great is that? So you've got nobody else to challenge Drew Lock at the quarterback position, and you're going to have him for a year. You were 7-10 last year with Russ. I don't see you even getting 7 wins next year. Maybe 4, 5. Maybe 5 and 14. Maybe. In my opinion, the Seahawks' front office has gone backwards, and you know he's going to lose Russ anyway. And Russ needed a change. They needed to get away from Seattle, but again, you needed to find that next dude who's going to replace him, and you didn't find it. And it's not going to be Drew Lock. You could probably say, about 2023, it could be Bryce Young, it could be C.J. Strauss, it could be but we don't know if those guys are the dude or not. It could be, but then you could look at someone like Kenny Pickett, who could have a good year. You could look at Matt Corral, could have a good year. You could look at Malik Willis, who could have a good year. And then I'm looking, and I found the Seahawks front office. I'm like, why the fuck did I not even get Malik Willis? Like, why did I not take a gamble on this young guy? Well, yeah, I know why. Because they got a dumbass GM and an old man in Pete Carroll that should have had that retired by now. But he wants to be part of this fucking draft and fuck up many other drafts. But anyway, talk about the actual draft. So we have Charles Cross, defensive tackle from the Mississippi State. Boyle May, defensive end from Minnesota. Then you got Kenneth Walker, the third running back from Michigan State. Abraham Lucas, offensive tackle from Washington State. Kobe Bryant, cornerback from Cincinnati. Traquan Owen, cornerback from UTSA. Tyreek Smith, defensive end from Ohio State. And then Derek Young, wide receiver. And also you lost Bobby Wagner in the offseason as well. Big loss as well. Not just Ross, but you lost Bobby Wagner. But you still had DK Metcalf, who had 75 catches last year. He had 967 yards, 12 touchdowns. Rashid Penny had a good rookie year with 671 yards. Their defense system is like a 3-4 scheme, and what I think they're going to finish, I'm going to say they're going to finish last in the division again. If you truly want to rebuild in Seattle, you need a new quarterback, you need a new head coach, and you need a new general manager. This is why the draft is all getting fucked up in Seattle, because you've got Pete Carroll and that stupid ass GM running shit.